sinking in a sound of sorrow, heavy as a hurricane, wondering if we'll find tomorrow, if anything will look the same. Doesn't anybody read the paper? Has the whole world gone blind?
And that's a wrap. Sometimes it gets packed in a lot more neatly, sometimes not so much. Today's not such a neat day, but it's really nice. We didn't do this on purpose, actually. It was accidental because we couldn't fit the cooler in the footwell in the front anymore because Janie's feet, it made her feet like be propped up and it was uncomfortable for her. So it's under here, but it means it's extra insulated, so the ice is lasting like way longer than it typically does, which is pretty sweet. But anyway, that's our mess of a back of a car, but everything's in there and we can get to everything. We know everything is, so it works out. Morning. So we slept in a rest area last night. We'll be transitioning over the car here in a minute, which I'll probably have you watch. At some point the whole point of this is to share how we can travel on the cheap so much. So yeah, we're gonna film probably the transition out. At some point I'll explain it a lot more in detail. But anyway, yeah, I slept in the car last night, and I'm going to get changed really quick. And then we're gonna go to a mechanic. I'm gonna grab some coffee. I'm pretty excited about that. Because I usually just make cold brew. So yeah, I'm gonna grab coffee and then we're gonna go to a mechanic and get our car fixed. So we just dropped off our car. Hopefully it's nothing too big. We're walking to a park that's nearby so the kids can play while we wait for a diagnosis. I found a place that's got pretty good ratings, so hopefully it works out.
And I sure hope we survive. I sure hope we survive. Seems like we're barely alive. I sure hope we survive. Can we just stay sedated, lying here on the floor, blurry-eyed and faded?
So the garage called and we have brake leak in our caliper in the rear, so they're gonna replace that because we're gonna be going over I think 4 more mountain ranges, and brakes are pretty crucial for doing mountain ranges. So yeah, so we're gonna do that and hopefully that'll be the trick. Our kids, just like just about any other kid, loves dinosaurs, so we found a paleontological trail that will hopefully have some sort of dinosaur remnants. Otherwise, why would they call it a paleontological area? So hopefully we'll find something on this trail. So Jack loves interpretive signs on hiking trails, and as you can maybe see off in the distance, there are, in just what I can see, there are almost a dozen. So this is going to be his dreamland.
Sleeping off the wine. I'd rather not remember.
I found a rock that I think it's a fossil because it looks like one on
Let me
the
see.
top.
It kind of does.
What fossil do you think it might be?
I think it's my favorite dinosaur.
Which is?
The Tyrannosaurus Rex.
What part of it do you think that is?
It's part of its eye part.
Okay.
And it goes like this.
That makes sense.
So we had our hopes about this trail. The landscapes doesn't really draw me, but it's pretty sandy and stuff. But at any rate, we thought there were going to be like dinosaur bones in the dirt and stuff to look at, which apparently there used to be, but they had to remove them all because people were vandalizing them and stealing them and stuff. So that's a huge bummer. But we're still having fun. We're still learning a lot. Found another sign.
And I sure hope we survive. I sure hope we survive.
It was an Allosaurus backbone area. Unfortunately, somebody stole the rest of it, but you can still see little pieces of it.
Guys, wait.
Right there.
You find some bones?
Yes. Nope, not this.
Seems like we're barely alive. I sure hope we survive.
So right behind me is this place called the Hot Tomato, which we saw in a Banff Mountain Film Festival. The people here apparently, or they're pretty much the ones who turned Fruita from when Brian we used to live around here. It's kind of like a little rundown town to like a pretty big mountain biking destination. So anyway, they're known for their pizza and their stromboli. So we're gonna go have some slices and kind of experience this pretty neat place. We got our grub. There it is. And we just walked over to a local park so we could eat. It looks like the kids are gonna run in the sprinklers, which is exactly what they need. Yeah. Get wet, Jack?
A tiny bit. I ran, but I got wet. But...
There's your pizza the size of your face.
Oh.
We don't have sprinklers in New York. It's really rare that you have a sprinkler system because it rains so much. We're actually trying to keep the water out. So this is pretty fun and totally unusual to the kids. It's like a water park.
Are we going out? Are we going out of our minds? Are we going out? Are we going out of our minds? Are we running out? Are we running out of time? Are we going out? Are we going out? Are we going out of our minds?
They've never had shaved ice before, so we got some of that for them. I used to get it a ton as a kid. I like it better than ice cream. The kids were pretending to eat these berries, which I don't allow them to eat any berries that I didn't give them, but this is actually a mulberry tree. So we're eating the mulberries. That's what I called them as a kid. I have no idea if they're right. I actually called them longberries when I was a kid. They're a little sour if you eat them not before they're ripe. But actually they're edible, so the kids are eating the berries off this cute little tree. Okay, time to go. It's so hot, it's 100 degrees. So we went back to the same place that we went yesterday, but we brought, where is it? Paddleboard. So I'm gonna head out on the paddleboard here in a little bit and just kind of explore this body of water, and then we're just gonna hang out here for the rest of the day. The place just keep cool, and the water is really great for the kids. There they are.
This is not an invitation to kick up a cloud of dust. Run without a destination. Drink until we turn to rust. Gotta get ourselves together. Find a way to more than get by. Find a way to make things better in spite of all the headlines. And I sure hope we survive. I sure hope we survive. Seems like we're barely alive. I sure hope we survive.
It's a video. Okay, so I just paddleboard up this, it's just a little lake. It's a lot more secluded up here just because it's a longer walk, but I don't know if you can hear me because the wind, it was like quite a workout getting up here, but I made it to the end, and now I'm just gonna let the wind blow me back. It will not take long, because there are moments where the wind is just buffeting hard. Yeah. But the kids are back there having fun. Not sure if we're actually going to spend the rest of the day here, but we might. We have some errands to run, so we'll see what happens. But anyway, it's beautiful. I love whatever tree that is. I think it's a cottonwood, but I'm not actually sure. But they just are just gorgeous to me. Anyway, the wind's blowing me into some reeds, so I better go. I'm not going to be able to just let this blow me down. Apparently, I'm going to have to try and direct myself a little bit.
Until we turn to rust. Gotta get ourselves together. Find a way to more than get by. Find a way to make
It's about dinner time, so I'm gonna walk back up to the car and get us dinner. I'm gonna try and use up everything that's in the cooler because I'm gonna grab groceries tomorrow sometime, maybe tonight. We're not really sure what time we're gonna leave because we're waiting on the car. But anyway, yeah. I always keep food simple. My kids like it simple, so probably gonna veggies and hummus and tortilla chips and guacamole and yeah, maybe a wrap. We'll see. Made myself a wrap. Using up some of the leftover taco stuff. And kids are gonna have veggies and tortilla chips and hummus. And Brian's gonna have chips and guac. His meal of choice. Brian will have chips and guac for dinner, let alone on a road trip.
And I sure hope we survive. I sure hope we survive.